everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Marina from Marina Art Design, and in this video I'm going to talk about my Find the Odd One puzzle generator. It is a puzzle generator designed to create puzzles such as the one you see on your screen right now, where you have an image or letter or number, and then inside that mix of same numbers or letters or emojis, one is different. It could be different by being rotated, mirrored, flipped, or it could be completely different image inside the mix, and then you just have to find that is different. Of course, in my program you can choose, is the puzzle going to have just one different icon or more different icons. So in this case, you see how many of left facing Elvises can you spot, and there's actually 5 of them. So that is something that you can control. You can also control the front instructions that are going to be on top. You can also remove them. You have plenty of choices, and let me just show you now the interface so you can actually see what we have here. So once you download the file from my Gumroad store, you're going to have a zip folder that you need to unzip first. So first you need to unzip it, and once you unzip it, you're going to see an exe file. You need to double click on that exe file, and it's going to ask you for your email that you used to purchase the program on Gumroad, and license key. License key is going to be something that is going to be delivered to you, your email account that you used, and it's going to be not from Gumroad, it's going to be from me. So you're going to get license key directly from me. It's going to be support Create with Marina. That's going to be in your email inbox. If you don't get it, check your spam. If you don't get it in your spam, let me know, send me a message, and I'm going to see what happened. But that is what you do. So once you get the program on, it's going to ask you to type in your license. You type in your license, and then you have a lifetime usage of this software. And you can use it on 2 computers, so you can activate same license on 2 computers, and then it's going to block you. So if you want to switch from one computer to another, you need to deactivate the license before you move to a different computer. But let's see the actual puzzle generator. So in the top left corner here, you have control over the grid size. So that is, let me just switch this one where you actually can see the cells. So this is a row, this is column. So this is where you control how many rows and how many columns you're going to have. If you're going to have these cells visible, you can also control the cell size, but you do not have to. This is like, I'm giving you the option if you want to have that option, but this is not something that you're going to normally change. And then you can choose how many targets per puzzle. So that is how many individual images of a letter, number, or emoji the program is going to flip, rotate, or change into something else. Then here, this is turned off by default, but you can turn it on. This is to get this chess pattern. I'm not sure, can you see it here? But this is creating the chess background pattern, and I really like it, so that's why I added it inside the puzzle generator. It creates additional eye trick to find the correct answers. And then you have the fill token and find token. So what is this? This is what it's going to use to create the entire grid, and this is what we are looking for. So you can type any letter, any number in here and here, and it's going to create a puzzle using those 2 values. So if you type any letter here and any letter here, this is going to be, entire grid is going to be made out of this, and this is going to be the target that we are looking for. If you don't know what to put here on here, I'm giving you a couple of presets. You see here you have presets, and I also included double. I'm just going to click on this one. Once you select preset, you need to click on apply, so they actually appear here. So this is letter M, small letter M, and this is 2 letters, small letter R and N, R and N. So the confusion is that they look similar. What you need to understand here is that whatever you type here, it's going to appear in a single cell. So we cannot type long words here. You can put maximum 2 characters. So in this case, it's going to work like M and RN. I believe you also have W and SE. This one is tricking me. So this is actually double V here. So 2 letter V's, and this is W here. So that's also how to use this. So you can type your own, or you can select one of the presets. I searched the internet for all the common puzzles that are like this or based on this concept to find all the presets that are available. And that is what you have here in this section. And then here you have instructions and branding. You can turn off and on branding on puzzle and on solution. You can put branding left, center, or right. You can also type here what your branding is going to be, maybe your website or note. You can also choose to remove the instructions completely from the puzzle image. Obviously, we do not have instructions on the solution image. You can type your own custom instructions. If you type your own custom instructions, it's not going to work for these custom icons. That's only going to be for the standard text, so standard numbers and standard letters. And then you have 3 options from templates for instructions. Find all, find among the fill. How many of odd ones can you spot? And can you find the odd one among the fill, whatever it is? So you have these 3 instructions. If you turn this off, or if you type anything here, this is not going to be used. Here you have grid control. So here you can control the grid line color. It is default black. You can use thickness. So it is default 0. So if you do not want to have grid like this, then you type 0 here. If you want to have grid, then type 1 or 2, whatever you want here. So that is how you control, is your puzzle going to have grid or not. Then cell background, it is default white, so that means the entire background of the puzzle is white. And when it comes to chess colors, let me switch to chess. You can control what are the colors going to be, so you can maybe make them red and blue or whatever. It just depends on, completely up to you. When it comes to solution, it can be a square or it can be a circle. I prefer a circle, so this is how the circle looks like. You can control the color of the outline and the fill, and I believe you can control the fill opacity, so that is how transparent the fill is going to be. When it comes to fonts, you can control the font. I do not have any puzzle with letters, but you can control the font of the instructions. You can control the font that is inside the puzzles if you selected letters. You can control the branding font. You can control everything here. And if you're going to use custom fonts or special fonts, and then you notice that the letter is a little bit higher, a little bit lower than it should be, or left or right, you can adjust it here by controlling the offset. What else? So this is normal, so everything here was normal. But how you actually can create puzzles such as this one that you see in the background, that is where you activate the weird the weird Marina mode. So click on weird Marina mode. Automatically here everything is locked, so you cannot use this when you activate weird Marina mode. And then you have 4 options. You have 4 fonts. These fonts must be installed on your system in order to use this feature. So these are 4 fonts created by me. And then you can choose to create individual puzzles. So one shape is changed with a different shape, and then all the puzzles are going to use those 2 shapes. Or in here, so you see use single, or you can use cycle through presets. If you click here, cycle through presets, and you select, let's say 10 puzzles, it's going to generate 10 completely different puzzles using completely different characters. But if you want to use the same character, for example, you want to create 10 puzzles with Elvis, then you're going to click single, then you're going to find Elvis here, and then you're going to get 10 puzzles with Elvis. Different puzzles, of course, but they're all going to use Elvis. Now you're probably wondering, Marina, how am I going to find Elvis in these presets? That is why I'm giving you this image here. I know it's a big one, but that is good. You have lots of options. Let me zoom in so you can see. So this is what you have when it comes to pairs. So if you select A and B pair, it is going to give you these two characters or these two letters. So it's going to be B and flipped letter B. If you select pair C and D, you're going to get these two letters. So these are pairs, G and F, G and H. And then this is Marina font number 2. So if you select A and B pair, you're going to get this. For example, if I want to get, let me see, where is Elvis? Let me find Elvis. Where are you now? Where is Elvis? Come on, Elvis. Oh, Elvis, Elvis, Elvis. Ah, here. Okay, so these two. So we have the pipeline and this squiggly bracket. So if I go to my program and this says, what font is this? So this is font number 2. So if I go to font number 2, so it's a weird Marina 2. And then I find a squiggly line with pipe. Squiggly line with pipe. So it's this one. Okay. And now if I use single, and I put here 100, it's going to create 100 puzzles with Elvis. Different puzzles, but with Elvis. And if I change the target per puzzle to 1, that means only one Elvis is going to be flipped in the entire puzzle grid. And then, of course, I can change the rows and columns and all of the other settings I just showed you. You can export puzzles like SVG, PNG, or both. You can choose to have them in same folder or puzzles in puzzle folder and solution in solution folder. And then you can choose the prefix of the name of the images. So it's going to be whatever you set here. So that is going to be prefix, puzzle, then number, or prefix, solution, then number. That is how the images are going to be exported. It is recommended that you have Inkscape for this, but it is not necessary. It is not necessary, but it is preferred. Inkscape is a free software. It is to edit vector files. You do not have to use it if you do not want to. It is similar to Adobe Illustrator, but if you are on Windows, it is a nice program to have, especially when you are working with vector editing and vector. But it's not necessary. It's not necessary for PNG image. PNG image is going to look just fine. And let me just confirm here, image resize. You see the DPI is 300. So PNG is going to be exported in 300 DPI. Let me zoom in to show you what that means. So that means in 1 inch, you have 300 dots, 300 of these tiny. You see, this is 1 pixel. This is 1 pixel. So that is 300 DPI. So that is 300 dots per inch. And this is enough to get nice quality for print. I prefer SVG because SVG is going to give me the sharpest resolution in print. But for SVG, I need Inkscape. So if you're not going to use SVG, you do not need Inkscape. It is going to give you one small warning at the beginning that you do not have Inkscape, and you can just close that off and it's never going to show you that warning ever. That is how it should be. And that's it. I believe I shared everything about this. Here you have this image. So once you download all the files, you're going to have this image where you can see all the pairs. Now obviously this font on its own, it's not going to make any sense because of if you type letter A, you're going to get Apple. If you type letter B, you're going to get Apple flipped. So I don't know, maybe you can use it. Maybe you're going to get some ideas how to use it in different programs, because it is going to be a font installed on your system. so you can use it anywhere else. But it is designed to work with this section here. I believe that's it. That I covered everything. If you have more questions, I can always make another video. And thank you for watching, and take care, everybody. And until the next video, I shall see you down below in the comments. Stay safe. Bye.